even though we're both hockey experts, you're a little bit of a square sometimes when it comes to the hockey.
This doesn't seem entirely fair. Your accent gives you a huge advantage.
Please.
Gotta be.
All
right, welcome back to Fade the Mahoney, everybody. I've got my two NHL savants here. Maybe get some more bets in. David Tuchman, Greg Mueller, thank you very much for coming back. Recap of the last time you guys were on. Both of you picked 3 out of the 4 that you had.
Yeah.
Worked out a little bit better for Greg because you got the sweep with the Avs.
And I also got my little bonus with the Bruins getting knocked out.
The bonus 100.
I'm up 600 big ones.
Yeah, he's got $600 Tuch bucks, and Tuch bucks are tastier than most others. So Greg's in good shape. I do feel like I feel like from a poker perspective, Greg, I feel like, results obviously didn't work out, but I feel like I got the best of it in the Pittsburgh series. I just got pretty unlucky. Like, I feel like Pittsburgh probably wins that series 70 out of 100 times.
Yeah. I mean, the way the goalie got hurt, the way Crosby got hurt, it turns out you had the right side of it. Absolutely. It was our last series. I had no choice. I assumed you were going to take Rangers because they were the home team and the favorite and wanted Pittsburgh. And once you took Pittsburgh, I was like, okay, I'll go with the best goalie, who was not Igor-like for the majority of the series. And they, quite honestly, Pittsburgh was the better team. I don't even really know how the Rangers ended up winning. They came back twice, and
yeah,
that's weird how it works. I mean,
playoff hockey's like that. I mean, Louis Domingue, obviously the third string goalie, is kind of a journeyman AHLer. Per analytics, he let in 4 or 5 more goals than expected.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, when Crosby gets injured in Game 5, they're up 2-0.
Yeah.
And they end up losing.
He doesn't let them. He doesn't let them lose that game. He's a great leader that leads by example, but also might say something if he has to, and he kind of carries the weight of the team on him when he has to. So I agree.
Playoff hockey is like that, though. Listen, you know what? You're gonna occasionally you'll get your money in if you're. We're talking poker as well. You get your money in sometimes as a 70-30 favorite, and you lose. So it is what it is.
I mean, I disagree. It was a 70-30 favorite if you start the series again. I mean, it was. I don't know where you're coming up with. In other words, you're saying if they started the series again tomorrow, Pittsburgh's -200. I would disagree strongly with that. I mean,
well, I'll put it this way: if you told me that Louis Domingue was going to be the goalie, then no, of course not. But when the series started, it looked like Casey DeSmith was going to be the goalie, and Tristan Jarry was going to come back by Game 2 or Game 3.
Yeah, and the line was Rangers -20 or 30 to start the series. So
yeah, maybe it's Rangers minus. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it's Rangers minus. I mean, I guess if the series were to start over again, and everybody's healthy, maybe it's Pittsburgh -135.
I mean, it's Rangers have home ice, so I mean, everybody was pretty much healthy. I don't think that. I just don't think they would make the line that way. I maybe because New York has a bigger betting market. I'm not sure why, but I mean, maybe Pittsburgh 120, but certainly wouldn't be -200. What you're saying is
no, for sure. Which right? Okay, that's fair. I think that's fair.
And I think Toronto opens a favorite again. I mean, they just choke. I mean, they were up 3-2, and I mean, at the time the live line was whatever they were, -340 or something.
Yeah. Leafs be Leafs, right?
Leafs be Leafs. I mean, I made one move in that thing, and I took Carolina for the reason that I wanted you to take Dallas, and I'd get Edmonton. Instead of me taking Dallas, you take Edmonton, and then I get Carolina. I did it for that reason, and I really wanted Dallas to win that game in OT, just so that my play would have worked, and instead it broke even. If I take Dallas, you take the Oilers, I take the Canes, nothing changes, right? So
yeah, I mean, and the funny thing was, I think you and I kind of agreed. Obviously we both know hockey. I think we agreed on almost. I think we probably disagreed on a couple of series. I thought the Blues would beat Minnesota. You were spot on though, Colorado. I actually thought Florida might sweep Washington, and it turns out it was the other way around. Colorado. I thought Nashville might steal a game or two, but the goaltending issues in Nashville and Colorado just being a wagon, they were no match.
Yeah, I know they were. I mean, as it turns out, I mean, I didn't think Washington had a prayer either. As it turns out, they choked that series away. I mean, they had a empty netter in game number 4 to go up,
No, 4, yeah.
4 to go up 3-1 and missed the empty netter by an inch. They came back and tied it. Then in game 5, they were up 3-0 in the second, lost. Game 6, they were up in the third, lost. I mean, it's like saying in golf, you missed a birdie and end up with a bogey. Like, it's part of the game, is holding the lead. It's playing with the lead. It's knowing how to win. But that series turned out much closer than I thought. I thought Washington was done. And I mean, they were missing Wilson, who's a pretty big player in the playoffs. He's strong and physical and he can skate, right? So
no, for sure. I mean, the fact that Florida had issues with Washington without Tom Wilson, I think speaks volumes for Florida going ahead.
Or it was just getting the monkey off their back too. I mean,
Maybe.
they have, they're a really good team, and maybe they had the jitters, maybe they had the nerves. I mean, if you want action, I'll take them to beat Tampa.
We could probably we might get action on that then too.
I'll start heading through the series in just a second. Are you guys aware that we did a draft, went back and forth. You guys had the first 6 correct. The only 2 you got wrong were the last 2.
Which makes sense. The last 2 are the ones we have the least conviction on. So that makes sense.
Well, and you had a dog before, right before that, you took the Lightning. They were the underdog. So
yeah,
pretty solid, pretty solid work out of you 2.
Yeah, goaltending matters in the playoffs.
Not too shabby. All right, let's start with the first one. Panthers, decent size favorite over the Lightning. Panthers -150, take back +130 on the Lightning.
Yeah, I mean, the Lightning know how to win. I mean, it's just a fact. They know how to win. And I bet other people too. I took the Leafs, and I just thought that the Leafs this year would snap out of their funk, and they got the horses. And I thought the Lightning wouldn't be tired, but just, it's hard to win 4 series one year, 4 the next year, and then have the motivation to just do it again at some point. They want to enjoy. I mean, I get it. You're a competitor, but like, it's hard. It's taxing on the body. Like, look at Draisaitl. I don't know how heavy he's banged up. Like, these guys are banged up, and I just figured Tampa Bay would not beat the Leafs, and now I am a little bit worried that they could do it again, because winning the cup 3 times in a row with this much parity is truly a way bigger accomplishment than the Oilers or the Islanders winning it 4 times.
Hey, wait, let's slow down there, okay?
Well, there's
slow down. I mean, it's
no
fine.
competition. I mean,
let's
they played
slow down there. There's no need to trash my Islanders, okay? We can heap all the praise in the world on the Tampa Bay Lightning without bringing up my childhood, okay, buddy?
Well, it's just that the parity now is just it's insane.
Yeah,
and
I mean, listen, 5 game 7s in round 1. That speaks volumes on the parity. Absolutely, 100% agree with that. The thing that scares me about Tampa Bay right now, Tampa Bay was my pick to beat Florida as well. I think they would have gotten to the conference finals. I am very concerned, and this is the only reason I haven't actually bet on this series yet, is Braden Point's injury. This is, I don't want to overrate one player, because generally in hockey, it's a team sport. But just as in Pittsburgh, Sidney Crosby means that much to that team, Braden Point means that much to Tampa Bay.
I think the line might, I don't know. Maybe they don't. Maybe it's not like a football player where they really move the line. Maybe they didn't even really move the line. Sometimes I find they don't move the line more than 5 cents. Like, it's crazy.
Which is why, like I said, Tampa Bay would have been a dog, and I would have bet on Tampa Bay, and I would have already had money on them, and I have not bet on them only because Braden Point. Because I really like, as a dog, give me the better goaltender, give me the experience, and I love Braden Point. I just love him, and he's a playoff performer. The guy has just got, He's got ice in his veins.
They know how to win. I mean, they
do.
know how to win, and that
He's a loss though.
It's a skill in its own, is knowing we're down 2-1 in the third. Don't panic. We don't need to pressure yet. We're down 2-0 in the series. No big deal. They held serve. Like, there's just certain teams, and that's where the Blues are one of them too. They know how to win, and
Absolutely
something to be said for that. But that being said, I'll gamble with you, Tuch. I'll take Florida. What did we say? The middle was 140.
Yeah.
So we said
Yeah,
140?
130.
Yeah, I'll 100%. Listen, I would have already bet on Tampa. Braden Point injury scares me, but action's action. Why not? I'll hope Braden Point comes back for, say, game 3, and that it's not too serious. They say it's day to day, but that means nothing in the NHL. I know the guy's a gamer, so I hope he comes back. And I am not a believer in Bobrovsky. I think Bob is vastly overrated as a goalie. I think he's actually bad. Forget about just a bad contract. I just think he's a bad goalie. I don't even think he's good. And like you said, Tampa knows how to win. They have Vasilevsky in net. He has figured it out. He's back on. He's vast again. This series will hinge with Braden Point, though, without a doubt. And I'll gamble. Why not? We'll throw.
Okay.
So what is it? My 5 versus your 7? Is that how it works? What's the math?
140. Sure. So you want 14 to win 1,000, or you want 28 to win 2, or you want 700 to 500? What do you want?
We'll do 7-5.
You got it.
I'm not that confident on this. Like I said, I mean, I am a big believer in Braden Point.
It's just action for me, and it's fun.
100%. We'll throw it on there.
Stupid amounts, so this is fun, and we're having a laugh. So
in fairness, like I said, if you told me Braden Point was definitely coming back in game 2, I'd gamble more with you. But I'm not that confident with it. I am more confident on other series, though.
Well, Greg, you do have a cachet of Tuch's Bucks already to play with, so you're okay for a little bit.
I've been lucky against Tuchs, I'll be honest. I have been. It's weird. It's like he posts plays. I'll text him. He won't answer the phone because he's at Topgolf or busy or whatever, walking the dog. And then that team that I offered to take gets smashed. And then the next time when he does reply,
you win.
He loses, right? So,
all right.
Hey, if I'm going to lose to somebody, I got to tell you, there are guys you're one of the few I don't mind losing. Now, I don't like losing, period. I'm a competitive guy. But if I have to choose who I'm losing to, it's definitely you.
Thanks.
I'll throw that out there.
All right. Second series on the docket, Avalanche, big favorites, by far the biggest favorites against the Blues, -380 +290.
Yeah, I think that's a mistake. I think people Greg and I are on par on this one. I think people are underrating the Blues. I mean, this Blues team is playoff ready. They're built to win. They know how to win. They've got 2 good goaltenders in net, and they're not afraid to go from goaltender to goaltender. The coach knows what buttons to press, and they've got some young talent. I mean, Jordan Kyrou is a third liner for them. Jordan Kyrou would be a first liner for like 24 teams in the NHL. And he's phenomenal. Robert Thomas is a second liner. He's phenomenal. They've got speed. They've got grit. I'm a little bit worried. Torrey Krug is injured, and he missed the latter part of that Minnesota series, and he's a really good defenseman for them. But St. Louis is a real team. Now, having said that, Colorado is stacked. So I do think Colorado wins the series, but this is going to be a lot closer than people think. And Darcy Kemper's eye is going to go a long way in deciding this. His eye is still swollen. I don't know how long he's out for. If he's out, it would not surprise me if this series goes 7.
Well, I don't think, is he not starting game 1?
I don't know. I saw a picture of his eye, dude. He couldn't even open it. I mean, it looked bad. So I don't know.
When was that you saw the picture?
Yesterday.
Really?
I mean, now it's a day-to-day thing. So who knows?
The line being 390 for the series with Francouz starting is a little bit concerning, but I agree with absolutely everything you say. The Blues are built. Chief's a great coach. I mean, the Blues know what to do, but this Avalanche team, again, barring injuries, and Kemper is a big part of the piece. The difference between a team like Toronto that went with Campbell and and he played well, the difference between the Avalanches, they went and got Darcy Kemper. And I mean, their defensive core is ridiculous. Their offensive core is ridiculous. They're fast, they're skilled, they hit, they can take face-offs, they can stop the puck. I don't think the Blues will give them a match. I'm not going to lay, I just don't lay 390 because we're 400 or 450 or whatever the line is, just because, you know, an injury or Kemper, you know, something happens. So yeah, if gun to my head, the smart value is on the Blues, but I do think the Avs roll them. And I wouldn't be surprised if you let me take them in 4 and then 5, I'd probably give you action. Avs in 4, Avs in 5.
I'll do that. I don't know what kind of fair line we can come
What's
up with.
the line on Avs in 4 and Avs in 5?
Let me see if I can find something here real quick.
They'll have it separate, but I don't know if they'll have it in 4 or 5. By the way, Darcy Kemper is cleared to play in game 1.
Okay.
According
That's
to
like
according to Adrian Tatar of the ColoradoHockeyNow.com report, he is cleared to play in game 1. Yeah, I think the Blues I'm actually with you. To me, the value is on the Blues. I think Colorado wins. I think the series goes 6 or 7. I would give you Colorado in 4 or 5, depending on what the line was.
All right, I got it here. Plus 425 in 4, plus 275 in 5.
Okay, so those future lines are always tragic. So why don't you give me, what was it, 275 and 5?
But it's got to be, but it's 4 or 5, right? Not it's
No, just 5 is what?
275.
And just 4 is what?
425.
So, okay, Tuch. So
you're gonna force me to do math on live podcast.
No, oh, I see. Yeah. What would we do that it's 4?
If you split them, it's
what's 6 or 7?
No, it wouldn't be split. Remember, this is an or thing, because those odds that you're quoting, Mahoney, that's exact, which is.
Yep. You're right.
What's the Avs in 6 and what's the Avs in 7?
350 and 450.
Right, because those are all exact bets.
Yeah.
We should be able to find a 4 or 5.
The Blues in 4, 5, 6, and 7 too. So, yeah, if you work out a number with me, Tux, whatever you think's fair, I'll take it.
We can circle back to this. We can circle.
Okay.
You and I agree with this, but I like I said, you're a little bit more optimistic on Colorado than I am, and I genuinely think the Blues are going to give them all they can handle. I think the Blues, by the way, for what it's worth, I think the Blues are the 4th best team in the NHL right now. Left.
You got the Avs, you got Tampa, and then you're going to say the Kings, and then
yep,
and then the Blues is my guess.
I think the Blues beat Florida in a series right now. And Calgary.
Yeah, I'm not disputing that at all. Let's talk about the Battle of Alberta.
Ooh. By the way, for those hockey fans out there, if you haven't watched hockey, or even if you have watched hockey, if you want to see some fast, fun hockey, don't miss a minute of this. I mean, this is going to be so much fun. Watching Calgary fly up and down the ice, watch Edmonton, Connor McDavid fly up and down the ice. It's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, team's got to lock it down a little bit, but it's going to be a fun series.
I'm sure your 80 followers, Mahoney, are mostly American, and so for those that aren't familiar, Alberta is a province in Canada.
I appreciate you rounding up to 80. That was really nice of you. Thanks.
And Calgary and Alberta are about an hour flight apart.
Edmonton, you mean? Edmonton?
Yeah, Edmonton and Calgary, an hour flight apart in the province of Alberta. And they have quite the rivalry. They haven't played a playoff match, I believe it's been like since 91 maybe, or it's been a long time.
Oh, that's
and
really fun.
And they used to have epic battles, wars, and everyone's really looking forward to it just because, you know, Cassian, Lucic, Kachuk, like there's a lot of hard-nosed players on the teams, and people think it's going to be, I mean, I am so looking forward, whether I have a nickel on it or not, to just watch the action, like Tuch said.
Yeah.
I mean, for a hockey fan, or for someone that's not a hockey fan that might want to become one, watching this will be awesome.
The Flames are pretty decent size favored, -190. Take back on the Oilers, +160.
Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, like I said, I agree with Greg at every thing. I don't necessarily have a strong feeling on this one. I mean, Calgary's definitely the better team, and they're deeper, and they've got the goaltending, which is the big thing. Goaltending in the playoffs is so important. And then, if I've got to take Markstrom or Mike Smith, I'm going to do it with Markstrom. Mike Smith is just guy's like 73 years old, and he's always prone.
He's got good numbers this playoff.
No, he's playing great, but he's always prone to making some sort of snafu when he comes out of the net and tries to play the play. So I mean, I'm definitely leaning toward Calgary, but to me, the line is pretty fair. I feel like the market's got it on spot on. Yeah. I am not betting on this one right now, and I don't really have a strong inclination either way.
Well, like you said with Point, to me, Draisaitl is the key. If McDavid took that series over against LA in game 6 and 7, and Draisaitl's played amazing, but I guess he hurt himself. I'm not sure which game it was. He's obviously not talking about it. No one's given any updates, but you could see him limping considerably. He was a game time decision for game 7. So he's obviously playing banged up. And when you have the best player in the world and the second or third or fourth best player in the world, and he's banged up, it makes a big difference. So I just don't know his status enough to, if I think he's 100% healthy, I would take the plus money on the Oilers because they play Calgary tough. But without him being 100% healthy, I don't want to bet it, but I will be watching every minute of that series.
Yeah, I mean, I think without him, they don't stand a chance. But
right. And when you say without him, he still might play. Like it's funny. You find out everyone plays, and then as soon as they get knocked out or win the cup, they go for surgery. And I did it too. I didn't go for surgery, but I played the playoffs with a AC joint separation in the 3rd degree, and that is I couldn't hold my stick.
Yeah. And
that happened with 2 games left in the regular season, and played the whole playoffs.
For those of you who don't know, hockey players are men. Okay. and I know in 2022 I can get canceled for this, but if you compare hockey players to baseball players or anything else, I'm just saying, like Braden
there's no
Point,
hangnail.
Braden Point, he got legitimately injured, came back for the second period to play a shift, and when he couldn't play, the guy broke down on the bench. I mean, there's a Twitter video of it. I mean, he was that distraught because he couldn't go. There have been stories, guys playing with broken bones, torn ligaments.
Absolutely.
It's just that hockey players, we're just born and bred to do that. From an early age, you're kind of taught, are you hurt or are you injured? And play through it. And there's a big difference. Exactly. But to your point, Greg, I mean, if Draisaitl is injured and plays through it, and he's even playing at 70%, that team is just so top heavy that I don't know if they can get the job done without him. It's just, they're already the dogs, even if he's healthy.
Right.
So,
yeah, I think that is one I'm sitting out. I'm sitting out until game time, and then I'll throw action down on one side. But
yeah, and by the way, yeah, I was gonna say, by the way, I always put these out on Bet Rivers and on my videos. A lot of times I'll sit out of a series like you do, but I'll watch game 1. And if a team wins game 1 or the other team sometimes I'll start throwing action because I can watch and I'll get a feel for it. And hockey's a weird sport.
And the crazy thing is, the betting with you, as small as it is and as fun as it is, it skewed me on making bigger bets on the side I didn't want just because I felt I was committed to it. So like I'm serious. A lot of times people ask me, want to bet the series, and I swear I'm not betting the series because I might be real high on a team game 1, realize the matchup is brutal. And if I only bet game 1, now I'm going to jump ship and go the other side. But when I'm on a series bet, I'm kind of committed to it. And next thing you know, I'm betting game 2, game 3, game 4. When if I didn't have a series bet, I would have jumped ship after game 1 and realized that they're the wrong side. So that's another reason why a lot of times I don't like making series bets, just because variables, like if I didn't bet you, I would have been on Pittsburgh throughout the entire series. And, because I would have started with the Rangers and then realized Pittsburgh's the right side, but I was kind of committed.
I figure our bet is so small that it doesn't matter for you. I mean, the bet's bigger for me. But
of course, but it's the pride, and I like to win, and
I get you. Greg, I mean, I'm like this, Greg, by the way. Sorry to interrupt you. I was gonna say I will do this a lot because I think hockey is a weird sport where it's not like a lot of sports where teams come down from 2-0, 3-1, 2-1 all the time. So I will I bet on Tampa when they were down 3-2. I bet on Boston when they were down 2-0. Obviously, that didn't work out, but I got Boston at plus 370.
Yeah.
And they took it to a game 7. So, I mean, clearly there's value there. So, I mean, I will often look for teams losing game 1 or going down 2-0 and be like, okay, how do those games play out? Is there still value in that spot?
Of course. Absolutely.
Yeah, I got a shout out for you on one of your Tuch's takes. You suggested Tampa after the first game. So I hopped on that. So that worked out. It's plus 175. It's pretty good.
Good. I'm glad you made money off it.
And Greg's a big believer of dancing with who brought him. So if he's on early, he's not going to switch, I guess, when it comes to the tiny betting.
Yeah, I mean,
big betting. All right. So nothing, you got no action on this third one that we're talking about.
No, and we'll update you on the we'll update you on the Colorado Blues thing. We'll get action. I just got to figure out. I'll talk to somebody who's smarter than me who can figure out the math and let me know what a fair line is, and somebody that Greg and I both respect, and we'll get a fair line for that.
To win in 4 or 5, 3-1.
Win in 4 or 5, yeah.
3-1.
No, it's gonna be way worse than that.
Oh, all right.
I would take 3-1.
I thought I would qualify as someone smart enough. All right.
I would take 3-1 right now for sure.
Yeah, of course you would.
It must be a good number.
Yeah, of course you would.
Well, I'm looking at laying 390 for the series. Now you're giving me 3-1 if they win in 4 or 5. Yes, I would absolutely take that. It eliminates game 6. It eliminates game 7. It's a big difference, but I would take it.
Right.
All right. Last series, Rangers, Hurricanes,
Actually, hold on. It's real easy enough to figure it out. Let's just say the 275, we rounded it up to 3-1. Okay. Because like the book odds obviously are really skewed. And
so it's plus 275 to win exactly 5. So you realize that to get 4, to get it also in a sweep, it would be worse.
Hold on.
Better.
So hold on. So bear with me. Let's just say we rounded it up instead of 275, we rounded it up to 3. Okay. Yep. Like the same thing when you wanted Boston on the futures. I know futures odds are bad, so I gave you right. Okay. Fine. So let's say 3-1. Okay. If they win in 5. And then in 4, what was the odds there?
425.
Okay. Let's just say, we'll call that, just for sake, call it 5-1.
Okay.
Okay. So watch. So if they win in 3, I profit, let's say we did $100. I profit 300, but I lose 100 because I also took win in 4. Okay. So I would profit plus 200. If I said win in 4 and they lost and they won in 4, I would profit 400. Okay. So on the one side, I would profit 200 if they won in 5. And then if they swept, I would profit 400. Does that make sense? Or are you lost?
I got you.
He's got you. I'm lost, but yeah, sure. I'll believe you.
Lost, Tuchs,
I'm lost, but I trust you. So keep going. Yeah.
No. Okay. So, okay. I don't want you to feel, okay. Let's just say we made one bet. Avs win in 4.
Right. Avs win in 4. You have to, it's plus 425, right?
Okay. But I'm saying I'm never taking 425 because then you become the bookie. So the middle's not 425.
Of course. So, right. The middle might be plus 500, right? I got you. Okay.
So 500. So let's just say we made one bet. Avs win in 4. Okay. Yep. So you would I would risk 100 and I would get 500.
Yep.
Make sense?
Right.
Okay. Let's just say that's our bet. 5-1. Okay. Now let's make a separate bet. Avs in 5 plus 3-1.
That's probably fair. That's a middle, right? Okay.
Okay. So I would, if we just did 2 separate bets, one Avs in 4 plus 5-1, Avs in 5 plus 3-1. Are you with me?
Yep.
I got you.
Did I lose you?
No, I got you. Okay.
Okay. So we make 2 separate bets.
Can't win them
both.
You're
risking. You're right. You can't win them both. That's the big difference.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is, so the one's plus 500. So I win. Yes, I get 500, but I lost the other one.
So you net 4. You net 4 or you net 2.
So you right. So right. So you'd be risking 2 to win 8. You'd be risking 2 to win max 5 or 3.
No, listen. If I win one of the bets,
this is going to be incredibly interesting for your viewers and your listeners.
I'm leaving all of this in here. With the 2 bets, you're either netting 4, you're netting 4, or you're netting 2. Those are your only 2 outcomes.
Yes. I'm either losing 200 or I'm netting 200 or netting 400. You follow that, Tuchs?
Yeah.
No. Because if you win the sweep, you're making 300.
400.
400.
5-1, and you
Hold on,
lose
let me
100.
explain it to Tux. Let me explain it to him because he's got a brain fart here. He's really not
I'm
getting
slow. Right. I'm
it.
slow. Go ahead. Sorry.
So listen.
He's been drinking. It's okay.
Listen.
I've got a, this is, by the way, my wife for her birthday got this fancy cocktail maker. It's little pods. You put the pod in there and it makes a drink for you. This is some sort of jalapeno tequila thing. And I'm washing it down with a beer.
Okay. So listen, we make 2 bets. Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay. Avs sweep. It pays $500.
Okay. So 500 to 100. I got you. Yeah. I'm writing it down. See, look at this.
So if the Avs sweep, what do I win?
You win $400.
No.
500.
Why do I lose 100 if I win? I don't
You
risk.
win
Oh, I see. Okay. You're not losing 100, right? You win 5, right? I'm sorry.
This
You win
is where
500.
you're confused. This is where
Right.
you're
You win 500 if you win it. If we just make one bet, you win 500. I got
correct. If I make the other bet, you're giving me 3-1. I would win 300. Are you with me?
you. Got you. So you could either
Okay.
win 400 or 200. I got you.
Correct. 4 or 2.
So what's your argument? So what are you saying here then?
So, but I'm risking 200 in the process.
Right.
Does
To
that
either
make
win,
sense?
you're risking 2 to win 4 or 2.
Correct. So I'm either gonna.
You're either getting even odds or 2 to 1.
Correct. So
So are you saying plus 150 then?
I think that's probably fair. Yeah.
Plus 150?
I do because essentially I'm putting up 200, and if the I'm if it doesn't happen, Avs in 4 or 5. If Avs win in 5 or 6, I owe you 200.
Okay. So
And
I'll
if
give
the
you
Avs win in
okay. Listen, I'm sure it's close. Mahoney, does this sound right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will give you plus 150. Avs must win in 4 or 5. Any other result, I win. Avs win in 6, Avs win in 7, Blues win, I win.
Correct.
Okay.
So
So
how
you
much do you
must
wanna do
win
on
in
that?
4 or 5.
Yeah. How much you want to do on that?
You can do whatever you want. I mean, within reason. You know me. You know my budget.
So you're giving me 7 to. So let's go.
I'm giving you 150.
Yeah. So let's go 1,000 to 1,500 or half of that if it's too much.
That's fine.
Okay. You got it.
Okay, so let's just review what we got here. So we got we got Tampa versus Florida. My 5 versus your 7.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And we got the Blues versus Colorado. Your 1,000 versus my 1,500. Avs must win in 4 or 5.
Correct.
Okay. Got to wear a fucking Blues jersey the next few days. Okay.
Correct.
Let's
Correct.
go fucking Blues. Okay.
Now we got the series we haven't talked about, the Rangers and
Which
the Kings.
I'm all over. And by the way, more math for your listeners because this is where we're going to go on this one too.
We're
Let's
going to
go.
do the same thing. All right.
Probably. Let's go Carolina Rangers. This has got to be captivating coverage for your 9 listeners.
I've got some math nerds who are going to light us up for probably what just happened, but that's okay.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody's going to be like, oh my God, Tuchman just got owned, but I'm drunk. So it's okay. Whatever. It's all good.
Carolina 190, Rangers take back plus 160. Same spread same numbers as the Flames and Oilers.
So middle's 175, basically.
Yeah.
Basically
Okay,
175.
let's do bet number 1. Well, how much you want on that?
Well, let's talk about the series first
Sure.
for anybody listening. I think the Rangers suck. I mean, I think the Rangers are a terrible team. I think the Rangers got really lucky to beat the Pittsburgh Penguins. I mean, this is a team that was, from a goals expected point of view, on 5-on-5 hockey, nobody on their team was over 50%. Only a couple of players over 40%. This is just not a good hockey team. Barclay Goodrow is injured. He might not be back for at least a few games. Maybe he's still in crutches and a walking boot. Shesterkin, I mean, he was a shell of what he was in the regular season. To be honest, he wasn't even good the last month of the season. He'll win the Vezina, and he's a great goalie, but you got to show it to me in the playoffs. They barely, and they luckily got past the Pittsburgh team without Crosby for 2 games, without Brian Dumoulin, with a third-string AHL goalie in there. This Carolina team is a wagon. Carolina is absolutely stacked. I think Carolina might sweep. I mean, I'm not even kidding. Like I thought this line was going to be minus 350. Like I am all over. I love Carolina. I love.
Who they were?
I mean, I think the Rangers might win this series. I think you tell me what the lot. I think the Rangers might win this series 20% of the time.
You know what's funny is this. Let me just see what this series reminds me, this Canes team reminds me of the Vegas team that lost to the Capitals, in the sense of, yes, they have Aho, but for the most part, they just don't have a weak spot in their lineup. And I missed their weakest is probably Granta in net. And
he's playing great.
And he is playing great. I mean, their defense is playing outstanding. The pickup they got from the Rangers.
Tony DeAngelo is
playing great.
The thing about Carolina that's so good, Greg, their team defense. When you watch that game versus Boston, Game 7, they
gave nothing. They gave them nothing.
Literally, Boston had nothing. They had nowhere to go. And you're talking about, this is Marchand, Bergeron. I mean, this is Pastrnak. They had nothing. I mean, I've watched the Islanders defense stifle Panarin and company for the last couple of years. And this is an offense that can be stifled. And I think this Rangers team, I mean, I think their young defense is going to get exposed. And I think their offense is just going to get abused. I think Stahl is going to own. I think Stahl is going to get matched up against Zebad and company. I think, like I said, I mean, I think Carolina maybe 4. I don't think that gets back to Madison Square Garden. I don't think.
So why is this line, I'm going to put in quotes, so low?
Because Ranger fans are delusional, and a lot of New York people like sports betting is legal in New York, and people like to bet on the Rangers. And nobody knows who Carolina is.
If you legitimately think it should be minus 350, that would have to be one of the biggest bets you'd ever make in your life.
I'm making a big. I've already put money on Carolina. It's the one bet I've made out of it. Like I said, I would have bet on Tampa Bay, but Braden Point scares me. I think they need Braden Point to win. I gave Greg money because we're buddies, and I'm like, fuck it, we'll get some action. In Colorado, St. Louis, whatever. I fine, it's cool. I do think St. Louis gives them a harder time but this series, I am backing up the truck. I love Carolina.
All right,
I love
ready
them.
For some odds.
I tried. By the way, I tried to get Negreanu. Negreanu tweeted that he liked the Rangers, and I was like, "You want action?" He said, "No, because he's a pussy."
Well, you are. It's funny because I took Carolina second in our last round. So I am a Carolina guy too.
Dude, they're so good.
Right. And what I like about them is they're not relying on McDavid to do it. They have Slavin in the back. They got DeAngelo in the back. I mean, they have, like, they're just so deep. I mean, Max Domi came out of nowhere and played the Game 7 of his life with Teravainen. I mean, they're a very, like you said,
Kakanyemi. I mean, we're not even talking about like the Russian kid that came out. I mean, this team is this is a team that, barring an injury to their Thank you, Spencer. Barring an injury to their goaltender, because Freddie is out right now, they're not even an injury away. Like, they could lose somebody and still win games.
Yeah. No, you are scaring me a little bit because
sorry.
What you're saying is right. And I watched this pathetic Rangers team struggle with a Penguins team that had no goalie. They just, they took Louis Domingue, who I'm sure he's a great guy and he's got a great pregame meal, but they took Louis Domingue.
Hey, by the way, Louis Domingue would do fine in your beer league and my beer league.
Absolutely.
He'd be great.
Absolutely.
But he's an AHL journeyman. Let's not.
Totally.
And I don't blame him. And by the way, Pittsburgh fans, I hope you don't blame him for where you're at, because he overperformed where he should have.
Absolutely.
Great.
But you got no Crosby, you got no Dumoulin. I mean, and they just took it to the Rangers in waves.
Wait, did I talk you? Wait, we had a bet set up. Did I talk you out of it?
You might have, Tuch.
Are you kidding me? Wait, I literally I blew my load too early, huh?
Well, I mean, I'll give you a few bucks action, but yeah, you kind of did. I mean, like, thinking back on that series, I was watching the Rangers going, these guys are a pile of shit, and then they get a timely power play. Like, you know what turned that series around? Game 6. Was it game 6? Game 6 in Pittsburgh. The game was over. It was 2-0. Rangers were dead.
Evan Rodriguez injury.
And Rodriguez takes a stupid, undisciplined, selfish penalty that's a Zibanejad immediately stuck up their ass, and the game changed right away from 2-0 to 2-1, and all of a sudden, boom, it was 2-2, and the game just completely flipped.
I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. The Rangers have talent. They've got Shesterkin in net. I mean, this is a team that could get, catch on fire at any moment. Anytime you got
Kreider's a beast. Like,
anytime you have Shesterkin in net, they could steal a game or two. Okay, listen. If you want, I'll do the same deal with you that you gave me that you gave me on the Blues. I'll take Carolina in 4 or 5.
All right, you
You know
ready to
what?
do you ready to do some math?
Oh,
No.
Jesus.
I'll tell you what I'll do, Tux. I'll middle the line with you and I'll do that line. Because
Which line? You mean the whole series line or the
yeah,
the
just
4
do the
5 line?
series line. Yeah. I'll
No
just do
4
the series.
5. Like by the way, for anybody listening, they want action on the Rangers. Let me know. I'll bet on Carolina to sweep. I'll bet Carolina to win in 5. I personally think Carolina. They could sweep. I could see Shesterkin stealing 1 in Madison Square Garden and then Carolina closing it out in Carolina in 5. But that's as far as I see it going.
Well, okay, for fun, give me the 4 and 5 then. Let's just see what it is. How steep is it?
750 and 400.
750 and 400. So the net would be 650 and 300. So the in between, so we're gonna go up. So we'd round it up to 700. And
No, it's 7. What do you say? It's 750. So it's 800.
Yeah.
800.
800 and 400. So I'm risking. So I'm either winning 7 or I'm
7 or
winning
3.
3.
So half of that is 5. So the middle would be 5, no?
So 2 plus 250.
Hold on.
Mahoney.
So
Help me
Yeah,
out.
if we're gonna use the same math we did last time, I think 250 sounds about right.
no, I think they're
You
getting
didn't
screwed there.
round up the +4 though. The 4 to 1.
No, but he's getting screwed at 250.
Well,
because
you should round it up to 5 to 1 and 8 to 1.
Ah.
Right?
So at 8 to 1 and at 5 to 1, you'd be profiting 700.
So 650. So 650 is be plus 325, right?
7
I'll
and
let you guys do the math.
7 and 4 is 1150, right?
I stopped paying attention in math class in 12th grade.
Yeah, no, it's like closer to 5 to 1, no?
No,
What
I
am
think
I missing?
that's too generous.
No, it's 800, and then what's the other one? 500.
Yeah,
so
if
that
we
would be-
rounded it up, it'd be like
So I'm either winning
805.
700 or I'm winning 400, which I'm winning 1100. So yeah, no. So I'd be winning 11 to win 2. So plus 550 is the fair middle, I think, right? Plus 550.
No, hold on.
550 divided by 2.
Right.
Oh, so 2. Okay, so I wasn't off. Like I said, like plus 300.
Yeah, 300 sounds about right.
So hold on a second. You're giving me 1 point. Hold on. Let me just so I got it here myself too. Now
You check it out. You let me know what you're comfortable with.
8.
If we
Oh,
use
I've got the second mortgage on my house already signed up here. Let me know. what I can do.
So you're profiting 700 or 400, but you're risking 200. So it's 2 to win. It's 2 to win 5. Oh yeah, it would be 200. So it'd be 2 to win. It's 1.5. So 2 to win 550. So it'd be 2. Yeah. So 550 divided by 2.
275.
That's what it is. Yeah. But that's
Plus
already
275.
both up rounded up. So you obviously you can't round that up because that's already both rounded up.
Plus
2
275.
plus 275. Carolina wins in 4 or 5. That's heavy. Rangers just got to win 2 games against
That's
this
it.
team.
Just 2 games. 2 fucking games.
Hold on a sec.
Look at Greg sweating. Hey guys, listen, for those of you out there, FBT is a guy who he gambles for thousands and thousands of dollars. I've never seen this guy sweat in my life. And look at him. I see beads of sweat. Beads of
Right.
sweat above his brow.
Okay, we can make it a little no, because that's 2.5 shit.
No,
They're
we're
not
fine.
even-
275 is fine. Let's just see what he wants to do.
275. So if we bet 1,000, I'd owe you 2750.
Then we have one bet on games at the series at the fin first, and then we have one bet on the whole series. It's up to you, buddy.
No, you know what? What if they make it tight though? Rangers will make it tight.
All right, so are you looking to kick it up beyond 1,000?
No, I'm just looking.
Okay,
He's just figuring it out. He's thinking still.
I am thinking.
I already wrote it down.
You already know. You predicted the future. Look at Mahoney. He's already predicted the future. He already knows what's going on. Is this compelling? Is this compelling for any of your viewers? I mean, the last one, did people like this or not?
The people who like gambling are gonna love this. This particular part, the people who actually like gambling are gonna love it.
By the way, this is how gambling. This is what people do. I mean, back and forth, and everybody fucking. And then you get the text of, "You're a fucking nit. What's wrong with you? Come on." And then you go, "What?
All right, Tux. All right.
What do you
All
want,
right.
buddy?"
You love them. I gotta give you credit if you love the Canes. All right, we'll do 2 bets.
Okay, go ahead. What do you got?
So we'll do 1,000 at plus 175 to win. I get the Canes, or I get the Rangers.
Okay. So what is
So
that?
you're
My
risking-
help me out.
That's 1,750 to 1,000, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then I'll give you 2,750 to win 1,000.
Wow.
Yeah. See, it's written right here.
You already knew?
Anybody
That's
wants to
amazing.
win, it's right there.
That's amazing. So okay, so I just want to be this clear. So if the Canes win, if the Canes sweep, we're talking about 4,500. I'm winning, right?
No, you're laying 175 on the series.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. If the Canes win, I win 3,750.
37.
Correct. If the Canes win in 4 or 5, you win 3,750.
If the Canes win or 6 or 7,
we
I
break
break
even.
even.
If the Rangers win, I win
I'm fucked.
It's a really good day for you.
2,750.
It's a good day for you.
Okay. I'm good with that. The Rangers are drawing fucking. The Rangers
Rangers
are
win,
drawing.
I
dead.
win 20. Is that right? Rangers win, I win 2,750.
Oh my god! I'm finally gonna fucking get him. I'm finally gonna get him. I'm finally gonna get fucking Greg Mueller. I'm so excited. This is my happiest day. I swear. Since the day I married my wife, the day my first son was born, the day my second son was born, the day I scored 5 goals in a college hockey game and won, and then here. This is my 5th happiest day. The day that I took FBT for fucking money. I don't even care if it's $5.
Hey, I am just giving back a little bit here because I
appreciate.
Canes,
listen, this is just my money you're giving back. I know it.
Canes are a juggernaut, but I'm banking on the fact that the Rangers win 2 games, and if they do, I'm free rolling the rest of the way.
Okay, so what do we got? I'm just gonna let's just recap the bets. What do we got?
What's that, Mahoney?
I was going to say, does the NHL rig playoff games like both the NBA and the NFL does?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No,
so
they
then
do not. The NHL does not.
Well, if they did, I'd really like to have the Rangers because they're gonna
No,
gonna
no,
slam
they
it
don't rig- they
towards
don't
New
rig.
York.
What's the what are the give me the bets we have right now?
All right, we got 500 to 700. Tampa Bay. Tuch, you have Tampa Bay to Greg 700 on the Panthers. Does that sound
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Avalanche. We've got 1,000 to win 1,500.
So it's Greg's 1,000 versus my 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
In 4 or 5. Is that what that one is?
Yeah, it's 4 or 5.
Okay. Same bet. You have Carolina in 4 or 5. You're risking 1,000 to win 2,750. And then you're risking 1,000, or Greg is risking 1,000 to your 1,750 on the Rangers to win the series. Is that all
And you're
sound right?
and you're already yes, that sounds great. And you're already you've already got $600 Tucky bucks, so you're good.
$5.
And I'm up 600. Yeah.
All right, we feel good about what we accomplished here.
Well, hold
Well,
on.
I'm sure you do because you came into this, by the way. You're like, hey, are you guys gonna bet? And we're like, I don't think so. I don't know, probably not. And yeah, everything but Calgary Edmonton we're betting
On
on.
the
Well, what's
Patreon,
that?
on the
Oh, hold on.
Patreon pre-show, there was no betting. We weren't going to be betting at all on this, and now we've got quite a few dollars.
This is
going.
how gamblers do it.
What do you have
Yeah.
to say, Greg?
What do you have the Avs series line at?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. Because we've
I
been
think it's
using
like, I think it's was it 390 minus 390?
It's gone,
370?
it's gone up since we started talking. They're at 400 now.
Wow.
And what's the take back?
300.
300. So the middle would be 350, huh?
You want that too? I'll give it to you, but I like the Blues for value, but I think the Avs win. So, but I'll give it to you. I mean, if you want that, because you gave me Carolina. So, and I know you think Carolina's going to win it.
Greg, while you're thinking, Tuck,
All
what's
right.
the name of that brewery that you like so much that you got that hat of that you
Yeah, beautiful. We got Benny Boy Brewery in downtown LA.
Benny Boy Brewery. All
Right up to 5. And if you come to LA, let me know. Tweet me at Tuch on Sports. Let me know. You'll be a guest of me. It is, I have invested in this brewery. I pretty much own I own a stool. That's it. I don't own much of it, but I love it. I believe in it. We were just there for my wife's birthday. Great spot, great beer, good cider as well. It is one of only 2 cideries in all of LA County.
All right.
But it's a cidery and a beer brewery.
The reason I bring it up, I promise to you, if in the Stanley Cup Finals, it's the Tampa Bay Lightning versus the St. Louis Blues, I will be there and I will be buying a round for the house.
Wow. I don't, but that's not my pick. My pick, by the way, is Colorado Canes.
That's okay. It's my pick though.
That's fair. That's fair. My pick's Colorado Canes, but if it's so it's Tampa Bay Blues, you are flying to LA and buying a round for the house?
Yep.
Okay. They got a big turnout. I'm just letting you know.
Oh, all right. Well,
Okay.
this was a while ago. I put this in a while ago. It's a pretty nice number.
Okay, good. I love it. You know what? Then I'm cheering for you. Why not? I'll go for it.
Tux.
What do we got?
That was a dumb bet, actually, taking them on 4 and 5 because the Avs haven't. When's the last time the Avs played a hockey game? Like 3 weeks ago. They're going to be slightly rusty, I guess. Eh? But whatever. Give me the Avs at minus 350.
Okay.
For 1,000.
Okay. So
3,500 to win a dime.
So you're 1,000 versus you're 3,500 versus my 30. You're 35 versus my 1,000.
Yeah.
Done. Okay. You know what? Honestly, I feel like so confident in the Carolina series. I feel like I'm playing with house money. If I win the Carolina series, I don't even care about the other 2.
Okay. I appreciate that. Just declare them winners if you win the other one.
Yeah, listen, that's the one that I'm adamant about.
You
the
are.
other 2,
You are.
I'm like the other 2. I'm like, I don't know. I'm be honest. The Florida Tampa one, I don't know. If Point plays, I like Tampa, but if he doesn't play, I don't like it. But Carolina, I think it's one of the best bets you can make. And I'll just put it out there to the audience. Listen, if you like FBT, go with him. I love it.
Hold on a sec. I want to clarify here. I'm taking action on the Rangers. I'm not predicting the Rangers win, but I am predicting that the Avs win. So that's different. I do like the Avs to win, and so I'm happily doing that. The Rangers is just because I'm action. I love the Canes as far as their team goes, and I'm banking that the Rangers put it together and win a couple.
Yeah, in fairness, I like the Avs to win too, but at plus 350, I'll happily bet the Blues.
Yeah, for sure.
By the way, I'm kind of happy. But I will tell you this: if the Blues win Game 1, I'm betting on the Avs. I'm absolutely hedging.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm hoping the Avs come in rusty. Blues steal Game 1, and then I can hedge the fuck out of that.
What do you think I do if the Blues win Game 1?
Oh, you ride it. Are you kidding me? You?
I put more on the Avs.
Yeah, exactly.
I never hedge. I just put more. I'm
Please,
sick.
true story, everybody out there. A couple of years ago, the Islanders are making a run, and I had the Islanders. I mean, the Islanders. I've made a ton of money on the Islanders in the past few years because they were underrated. This year, they were overrated. But a couple of years ago, I had the Islanders, to beat Florida, to beat Washington. I knew they were going to lose to Tampa in the Eastern Conference Finals, and I'm telling Greg, and I'm like, hey, I want to hedge. And he's talking me out of it because he's like, you don't want to hedge. You're giving away every time you hedge. Because you are giving away. Every time you hedge something, you give away a little bit. You give away a few percentage points.
You're paying juice twice now. Exactly.
And so Greg, by nature, as a gambler, he's not a hedger. But I think sometimes when you got lucky with a game, or you got a feeling you're on the wrong side because you're watching, it's okay to, it's okay to not take your ego out of it and just hedge.
Hey, here's the thing. What's okay? It's your money, and you can hedge 7 times. That's true. Everyone can do what they want to do. That's the beautiful thing about gambling. It's their money. So if someone tells me they hedge, I don't think they're the brightest for doing it. But here's the thing. It's all about money management too. And if you have a bigger bet maybe than you wanted, and now you're locking up a good profit.
Yeah.
There's a site called 365 up here. I don't know if you have it down there, Bet 365. And they constantly offer to pay your bet.
Oh, they buy out? Like a buyout?
Buyout, yeah. So you make a bet, and let's say you got the Penguins and you're up 3-2 with 5 minutes left, and you bet 1,000. Let's just say you bet 1,000 to profit 1,000. So you're risking 1,000 to get 1,000. So if you lose, like there's $2,000 sitting there to win, right? Because they're posting the money on the site, right? So if you're up 3-2, they might just say, here, we'll give you 1,600.
Yeah.
You're 1,000 back plus 600. And so many people take it all the time. And obviously it's not. If they're offering you 1,600, the real price is probably 1,800 or
Yeah,
1,900.
they've scraped that. They've scraped that down quite a
Well,
bit.
they're smart.
Totally.
They figured out a way to make money on every single thing. They make money on the original bet. They make money on those buyouts.
Totally. But if you have a 6-teamer that you bet for $50 that pays 30,000 and they're going to offer you 23,000, mathematically it should be 26,000, but you're sitting here going, I just deposited $50 and they're going to pay me 23K. Fuck it, I'll take it. Right. So,
that's right. That's a story. I mean, a buddy of mine, and I'm sure you had some friends, buddy of mine bought, I have a few friends like this who bought when the Vegas Golden Knights had their first year, you know, a couple people bought them to win the cup, but just as like, they just wanted the ticket.
yeah,
They figured they barely make the playoffs. They just like, I'll put this on my wall. Well,
Yeah.
you know, fast forward 7 months and they're playing for the Stanley Cup Finals and they're asking me if they should hedge. And I'm like, well, you're getting a bad price, but you know, you put $100 on them. You know, how much does the money mean to you?
Well, it's. I mean, here's the last example I'm going to give. It's like people say, you know, would you ever fold kings on the bubble or aces or, you know, in poker? And I always say, well, it's easy for me to say, what? You can't ever fold. But if I'm playing if I want a satellite into the one drop for $1 million buy-in, and we're on the bubble, and I have pocket aces, and it goes all in, call, 4 people ahead of me, and the bubble pays 2 million, and I want a 25K satellite seat, I would have to think about it. And
Of course, yeah. If you have kings, you're not even and if you, by the way, if you have kings, you're not even thinking about it.
correct.
Yeah.
So
No, I
so
get
like I'm playing a normal tournament. I just would be like, I have the best hand.
It's all relative. Perspective's a beautiful thing.
Totally, but all I got to do is fold, and I'm guaranteed 2.5 million to bubble this thing. You know what? I don't need to win it. I'll take the 2.5. I fold, right? So, you know, it's easy to say don't hedge, but it just depends on bankrolls and how big, right? So,
Hey, Mahoney, is this your longest podcast ever?
We're doing pretty good. I don't know. Me, you, and Stapes, we went pretty long.
And we didn't even talk about sports.
No, we didn't. We
the
didn't.
funny thing is, we were supposed to just have a quick short one today, but
We got some good bets though. It'll be fun. This one will be fun.
Well, what kept us short is you guys didn't go 20 minutes about what a shit show the Vegas Knights were. So we don't have to worry about doing that again.
Hey, they fired their coach. They're in the right direction.
Yeah, now they just got to fire
I'm
Kelly
not
McCrimmon. Now somebody's got to fire Kelly McCrimmon, and they'll be fine.
I shouldn't have brought it up. That's my fault. All right. Thanks for coming by again, guys. Hopefully 80 people see this, Greg. This was awesome. Good gambling, everybody.